Ah, a fine day with an open gate. Certainly few things in the world can be quite so calming. Well, as it is, we have a number of... I fear there may have been a misunderstanding. Well, just like to put in word on that. Hopefully that means my bedroom is well. Okay, we just have to bar Iron Bull from entering this room for presumably the next few days. Oh dear. Well, as it is, we have a job to do and several to review. Oh, let's see. Inquisition has received an urgent request for aid from Ozamar. Interesting. Suffering an earthquake. Let's review our reports here. Cameron is dead, fully armored, locked in an inner room in his home, a knife in his back. Ironically, the scene was exactly the same as one in the first Hardin Hightown novel. Someone sent a professional after this magistrate. They had to leave a trail. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Yes, it would seem indeed as though we have some spies afoot.
Let's see what we have.
Good luck with that, Liliana. I leave this to your humble care. How'd the bees go? We've received weapon plans and located an apiary to supply us. When the idea was rendered, the beekeeper tented his fingers and sneered, "Of course." Quite disturbing. I'm sure it was, Cullen. Jar of bees. Oh my. Well, we are to weaponize something. I suppose it might as well be something that people don't like in the first place. Ambassador Montelier, please assure the Inquisitor my deepest regards. Welcome. The memorial proceeded without incident and it was unveiled to a crowd of almost 1,000. I wish I had attended. May it stand forever as a testament to the dynasty of the faith in times of great trial. I stand corrected. I'm sure so. I'm sure that will have come in handy nonetheless. Gain Orzamar's friendship. Interesting. Well, might as well investigate here. Good luck. Scout of the region has set up camp. Professor Kendrick has the scouts gathering anything they can find, so I've uncovered a lot of very old buckles. Well, I'm sure it will gather some intrigue later on. As it is... do some coin. And I believe Josephine will be best suited to this particular task.
Inquisitor.
Thank you very much. Now, we have a mission on behalf of Hawk. Let's hope we can find something to support it. Hawk's warden friend is somewhere here. Disappear before we can talk to him. He's good. Be careful on the road. Lots of undead. People here need our help. Explain more once you're here. Harding. Well, we shall pay one visit to the hinterlands first. We shall investigate this warden. Well, I'm glad to have their approval. Well, I'm not terribly certain as to how frequently we will instigate a apiarist's assault upon our enemies. Oh. I have a friend to visit in the hinterlands, as it is, at Redcliffe Farms. Oh, once more to a familiar homestead. Now, here of course we first encountered William, my reliable horse, and word has it, yes, continually so, that Master Dennett might have additional fare for us should we be able to broach the subject of a relocation.
Let's look around.
Provided that we can find him. That being our first challenge. bit, I must say. What do we have here? Well, why am I not surprised? Hello? Yeah. Ah, 869 blessed. That'll go quite nicely. Has something of a kick to it, but I believe we can appreciate that. Ah, Elena, have you seen your wife? Your husband,
I put out the call to the farmers. I appreciate you driving those wolves away.
Nope, continually as fixated upon that one thing as ever. Well, also need a considerable supply of elf fruit. I'll wait that. I do not believe... Sarah, I don't know that you've attempted this. Have you? Perhaps give us a try? No. Well, sometime later, perhaps. That's the fun. There's some resistance here. Bron, even for your master.
Fight well out there.
Has no one word of Master Dennett? Perhaps we shall find him by the stables. I would certainly expect him to be easier found. Pleasant. Sienna?
That was some riding.
Where on earth has the master gotten to? That would be my question here. I'm fairly certain he did not travel to Haven and therefore was not caught up in the unfortunate trouble that befell it, so I am rather concerned with his apparent disappearance. Very curious. We shall have to have a look around. Well, as it happens, our last word of Dennett's shows that he may have indeed been headed towards Skyhall, in which case we should find him when we let to return, although I'm not terribly certain what convinced him to leave in the first place. As it is, there is one particular piece of business around this ravine that I do believe we are going to find quite taxing. No doubt she'll show her face very soon. Yes, there she is. However, this valley was named before or after the Frostback. I do not know, but there's at least one last task for you, William, and that is to carry me to the other side of this valley to face her in combat, noble and brave, before she blasts me from the ground. While our minions prowl the terrain here, and so I should be somewhat wary of it, but I think we shall make our way quite safely along with this careful trotting. And then we shall hopefully find a suitable successor to Very well carried, very well carried. And now we have but one problem. That being... over here is in fact the final landmark of the hinterlands, and I have become something of a scrapbook in this regard, and I wish to know of all of these. And I'm not terribly certain that this Lady Shayna will allow us to progress further towards it without a significant volume of conflict. Therefore, I'm afraid we're going to have to engage in a bit of combat. Well, you can continue to sleek on, but I don't know that you'll necessarily find great purchase against her. Rogues are the stealthy sort, aren't they? More concerningly, I don't know that I can get a decent shot at her head. Perhaps I have a tool more better equipped for this. I fear we are not going to make very much progress at this distance. Moreover, I do not believe I can actually engage her at such distance.
Oh, would you look at that? That is magnificent!
I'm glad you enjoy it. I certainly doubt I will. Still out of range. Moreover, the bulk of my spellbound arsenal being within the realm of fire, I do not fancy my chances of dealing with her. Well, I suppose I should be thankful that she seems to be unable to surmount this rock. Unfortunately, neither am I. Ugh. Ah, finally, damage is registering. Shall take that as a kindness. Perhaps we should have perhaps we should have brought Vivienne. Upon additional consideration, I think we might be better off dealing with this another time. Yeesh, let's go find ourselves a warden.
Good to see you safe, Inquisitor.
Oh,
But we've got trouble ahead.
And exactly what has you worried?
If you're on edge, I should alert the entire Inquisition.
Or increase my hazard pay. That's an option.
I'll consider it.
The thing's that bad. Oh.
Crestwood was the site of a flood 10 years ago during the Blight. It's not the only rift in the area, but after it appeared, corpses started walking out of the lake. You'll have to fight through them to get to the cave where Sir Hawke's Grey Warden friend is hiding.
More walking corpses. At least they won't be a surprise.
I nearly stepped on one in the grass the other night. before it started moaning. Maybe someone in Crestwood can tell you how to get to the rift in the lake. Maker knows they'll want help. Good luck, and please be safe.
You too, Hudding. I scarcely know what we do without you as it is.
Inquisitor, I've something for you.
Report?
What is it?
You may want to look into this.
Yeah, a geological survey of Crestwood. Well, I'm certain it will be use. Or is it simple? I'm sure we'll have a bit of what we have to investigate. Well. We do never meet Harding anywhere particularly nice, so I suppose that is the burden of being...
Why? It's in the lake.
It sounds different. The water changes the song.
I suppose it is fairly common for a... Oh, joy. Well, deal with the archers first. I pray they come no closer. That might help here. Not entirely certain they've noticed Cole at all. But then, it is certainly his predominant advantage. Apologies.
I'll go back to the village, miss. These roads aren't safe.
Okay. Perhaps we can help with that. A Grey Warden. Before my
Grey
eyes.
Wardens, thank you for your aid, Inquisitor.
Why are you here exactly?
What are you doing in Crestwood?
Besides the obvious.
A warden named Stroud is wanted for questioning. We heard he'd passed through here, but the villagers knew nothing. They have troubles enough.
What do you know of this,
Have
friend
you
of
been
yours?
told about this rogue? Warden Commander Clarell ordered his capture. I can say no more than that. I hope Sir Stroud comes with us peacefully. I trained under him for a time. He's a good man, I'm sure of that.
Interesting. What about helping the villagers here?
Stay to fight the undead here. My orders forbid it. Crestwood was only a detour. If the Inquisition can help, I beg you to do what you can. The villagers have already lost too many. Farewell.
So, well, we can do what we can. There is a rift involved, after all.
Are you sure we can't help the village?
That seems disingenuous. Avoid that for the moment. As it is, I have no shortage of coin.
None of those wardens mentioned a new leader. I don't think they're part of Corypheus's plot to seize the Order.
They stay by oaths sworn in blood. Not theirs, then their own. They're true.
I hope Hawke's warden friend has answers for us.
Indeed. First, we must find him. Well, there does appear to be something of a rift to deal with. It is somewhat secondary to our ideas currently. Let's get an overview of this village. If we can. The ground is not as stable as I might prefer it to be.
Andraste guide you. Does the mayor finally plan to drain the lake? I must find someone to retrieve the remains of those lost there.
And this would be for funeral purposes, I presume?
You want to exhume the corpses at the bottom of the lake?
They were the Maker's children. Their earthly bodies deserve better than abandonment in a mire. A funeral
English research.
service will help put living minds at ease.
Certainly, certainly. Is there no other way than to drain the lake? It is something of an endeavour.
What did you mean by finally drain the lake?
The undead returned, Only after the light in the lake appeared. If we want to stop them, we must investigate. But the mayor sent no one at all. I fear he thinks that emptying the waters would unleash even more monsters on us.
I can certainly see his ideas.
Till later.
Andraste guide you.
If the water is all that slows them, then it may very well be, but that's the only way to ensure safety right now. Lightning is certainly concerning. Let's continue onwards. Assume there's more to find here. The village does seem somewhat empty, but that may simply be the weather. Pray it is simply the weather.
Please! The man could use your assistance.
I'm certain he could. As it is, I intend to offer it.
Are the corpses still out there?
For the moment, for the moment. Troubles never seem to come.
Why doesn't Judith live in the village while this is going on? Make her,
Judith?
if something happens.
Who's Judith?
Are you looking for someone named Judith?
Oh, was I speaking out loud? Judith lives outside the village. I asked her to hide here when the undead came, but she wouldn't hear it.
And exactly why? This hardly seems an impractical decision.
Why wouldn't she hide where it's safer?
Likes her space, she says. I told Judith my house was big enough. Me and the boy could sleep in the barn if she wanted room. She turned me down.
Well, sleeping in the barn is hardly secure. I shall look into it.
Good day to you.
And to you.
Seems we have additional foes at the forefront here.
Undead by the gates.
Let's do it.
I doubt these enemies will be particularly susceptible to terror, but just in case. Yes, they are.
from the lake. Thanks for your help, but I fear we haven't seen the end of these creatures.
I certainly do not doubt it.
How many did we lose?
No one this time.
Did you see? The corpses are coming from where old Crestwood used to be.
Amount of people we lost back during the Blight. Not surprised.
Right. That aside, I have a mayor to find. I do not believe he'll be difficult to locate. Or a good mayor should not be. Certainly helpful. Although I don't think your guard dogs will serve you much good in this case.
The Inquisitor? Oh, Mayor Dedrick of Crestwood Village. At your service, despite everything. Are you here to stop the undead?
We should. We could. Everyone here is so scared.
How might one navigate to the Fade Rift causing these undead?
The undead are appearing because of a rift in the Fade. How can I get to it?
The light in the lake? It's coming from the caves below Old Crestwood. Darkspawn flooded it 10 years ago during the Blight. Wiped out the village, killing the refugees we took in.
I see. How do you intend to drain the lake, assuming that is indeed something you intend?
I saw a dam. If we use it to drain the lake, I can get to that Fade Rift.
Drain it? There must be some other way.
There's not. There's really not.
You'd have to evict the bandits in the old fort to use the dam. I can't ask you to risk your life.
You won't have to. But... New leaf.
Crestwood can't last much longer. I don't want to leave without doing what I can.
I suppose it must come to this. This key unlocks the gate to the dam controls past the fort. The rift must be in the caves under Old Crestwood. But, Inquisitor, I would not linger there.
I should hope we will not need to. Who are the bandits that you mentioned? Exactly what is their purpose in that fort?
What can you tell me about the bandits camped in the fort?
The highwaymen, thugs and thieves. They make a living raiding caravans on the King's Road. When the dead rose from the lake, the bandits killed the old gamekeeper and the fort and took it for themselves. We could have saved people if we'd been able to hide there instead of in our homes.
I see. Well, I believe that shall be all the information I need.
Till later.
Of course.
Well, now it seems we have a fort to retake. Fortunately, we have some distinct degree of experience in claiming forts. Although, someone tells me this will be quite considerably less grandiose than our acquisition of Skywold. Although certainly not meager by the looks of it. No doubt there'll be some bandits set out in the forefront as guards or early warning, or quite possibly simply ambush, but nonetheless I'm certain we can deal with them. I do have one inquiry, however, which is where will the water of this dam drain to? If indeed it was stalled elsewhere.
There's the keep the mayor talked about, and the bandits.
They're frightened inside, trapped by the walls that protect them.
Well, at least we can expect not to encounter them outside. Thank you. Lost so many hide beyond my capacity. Gladly. Hounds first, it would seem. Not to worry, I shall be down shortly. As will you, highwayman. Hold on, Bull, and I'll get you some assistance here. You will not need much, I should think. Right.
Sarah,
Next.
I had a thought. The next time we run into a line of enemies, I'll pick you up and throw you.
Get off.
No, this could work. I loft you over the front range. Land behind. Mayhem.
I can't fly, you daft tit.
Think of the mayhem, Sarah. Mayhem.
I'd get a wedge up something fierce.
Look, you and Varric are the only ones small enough, and he's pretty dense.
We'll do some bloody presses.
I'll admit I am curious of the idea, Sarah. If only for the comedic value when retelling it later. As an innocent bystander, of course. Well, that way should be our quarry, if we can reach it. The only trouble will be in doing so without being picked apart by the archers in these open areas. Which I dare say I'm not terribly convinced of. precious little time to be dealing with such fare.
Reinforcements!
Come along, Cole, we have need of you.
Creasy's in trouble!
Not that creepy, surely.
Creaky is down!
Oh, you meant Cole, of course. You are requested to hurry. This is going to be a tremendous slog, I feel. Sarah, you have my permission to withdraw. If only you can make it swift. And, do try and find me somewhat later. I don't imagine they're going to be particularly comfy.